variety. So I think no matter what sort of personality you are, you can fit into Melbourne because it is just so varied and unique.
A little bit of everything, you know. No matter where you come from in the world, you'll probably find a little bit of your own place here as well.
The best thing about living in Melbourne is that there is something to do every night of the week, no matter what you're into.
I guess if you want art and theatre, you've got that as well. If you want the food scene, you've got that as well. If you want to go out, clubbing scene, shopping, it's got everything.
I think Melbourne is a unique city because it's such a compact city.
I think because you've got absolutely everything here and so much opportunity work-wise, but also, you know, you can escape to the beach within half an hour, out to the country. You've got all your art galleries, amazing coffee. Yeah, I think it just, it really ticks all the boxes. Where do I think the world's most livable city is? Well, Melbourne, naturally. It couldn't be anywhere else.
Hi guys, congratulations on getting to final year. You've all worked really hard. And I'm sure you deserve to be here. So in terms of, we've been asked to talk about Victorian internships and why it's good to work here. So in Ballarat, both of us are here obviously. We get lots of support and it's really easy to ask for help. People are really supportive and really nice here. Yeah, so that's one thing.
Yeah, so one of the really good things about working here is that you get grants for conferences and stuff. So if you want to go over interstate, whatever, you get all your flights paid for and you can go to a conference and it's all paid for by the government. Yeah, other good things.
Yeah, something else that's really good is, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware that leave in Queensland and even in New South Wales is given all at once, so you have to take your 5 weeks at once, but in Victoria it's actually split for you, so you get 3 weeks assigned at the end of your internship and then 2 weeks at a random point during the year, and for both of us that was something that we both really liked and we thought was really good.
Yeah, one of the big things that are said about Victorian internships is that they are the worst paid and that we work the most hours and get no overtime, but that is 100% not true because we actually get paid just as much as every other state. We do get paid overtime and we do get paid extra for weekends and nights and that sort of thing. So certainly we have just the same income as the other states, and we have a really good salary packaging system, so you can salary package all your meals, you can salary package your rent, everything like that. So yeah, so it's just as good as the other states.
Yeah, one thing you should be aware of though is that if you're very keen on things like ONG or PEDS, a lot of the times it's not offered in your first year as a doctor in Victoria, so that's left up for the residents, so second year onwards really. But yeah, I guess next thing we'll talk about is applying.
Yeah.
The one thing, I found particularly difficult was the cover letters. You've got to write a different cover letter for each health service that you're applying for, and each of them sort of want different things. But I think a really important thing to do is start writing them early so that all you have to do is tweak them, because I was writing mine during exam period and that wasn't fun at all. But yeah.
Yeah. Some people use like a template method and they sort of have like a generic cover letter and then they just sort of adjust it a little bit for every hospital that they're applying for. But Nick used a different system and he wrote sort of like a new one for every hospital. It's kind of up to you what you want to do. What sort of things would you recommend for what you write in the cover letter?
Well, I reckon, because when they called me up, they definitely said that, so I know you're from Victoria and I know you want to come back, so definitely put that in your letter, that you are from Victoria, you have family there, your reasons for wanting to come back to Victoria, really. And for those of you who may not be from Victoria but maybe wanting to apply, I guess, explain your reasons. Maybe you do have extended family, or there's a particular job you want at a particular hospital, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that we were going to talk about is your resume or CV. So Victoria has a PMCV website system, which it uses for basically, so you apply directly to that website and you also apply individually to every hospital, and you have to upload like a resume, which is a template resume that you use from the actual system. So we were just going to talk about some of the things to put onto your resume. Nick.
Yeah. So things that you should put onto your resume are, I guess, things like rural experience or any international rotations that you've done. Lots of extracurriculars. So if you've run marathons or if you've entered competitions, anything really. And there's sections for all of these. There's a template on the actual PMCV website that you have to follow, and there's specific sections for all of these things. And if there's any time to brag about yourself, it's definitely now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short. Like, you have to sound a bit like a
Yeah. You have to really, really, really brag.
milk everything that you've
Yeah.
done. So if you're part of MedSoc, or if you've done any clubs while you're at medical school, if you've done any research, definitely put that down. If you've been to any conferences or won any awards, you got to put all that down.
One thing to note though is that Monash has a specific template of its own, so that one's a bit different. So the whole application is in that sort of resume template. So you've got to answer all the questions within that document, and you've got to fill out the document in addition to submitting your own PMCV one if you want to get into Monash. Other things that you should be aware of is that you will need to get your academic transcripts, and you will need to, if I'm not mistaken, that one was certified.
Yeah.
So you have to get that certified and sent on. So if you didn't have any awards, it will show up on the academic transcript. So don't make these things up either. You need to have proof.
But don't be discouraged if you are not the top of your class or
Yeah.
anything like that. I wasn't at all, and
I mean, I didn't have any awards on my academic transcript, and I mean, both of us we're still here. So yeah.
And then finally, we're going to talk about references. So you need 2 references that are clinical, and they basically, your references have to fill in a form online. It's all done, so they get sent a link by the PMCV, and they fill in like a checkbox kind of thing where they rate you, and they write any comments and stuff. So you don't actually get to see it. It's really important that you pick people that A, remember you, and B, are going to give you good references. Don't pick people that have only seen you once or twice on ward rounds. Make sure you pick someone who kind of knows you, and you're sure is going to give you a good reference. Yeah.
And some of the other hospitals also want non-clinical references. So that's people you may be doing research with, or people who you've worked with, but not in a sort of clinical setting, or even like club members, things like that.
Yeah.
Just basically the vouch for your personality, things like that. And so for some of them, I think I remember Eastern Health wanted a letter from a non-clinical reference, and that one had to be certified as well. So it's pretty tedious. So it's best to get on top of this really early, approach your references and make sure they're okay with it. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the biggest thing for both Nick and I is that, you know, a lot of people got very discouraged from Victoria from this, and they didn't want to kind of do it. It is incredibly boring having to punch out like freaking
A lot of letters.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of cover letters. But like pursue, because I think a lot of people get discouraged, so you actually have a better chance of getting a spot. As you know, even if you're Australian trained, Australian born, you're still a P3 in Victoria, and they put international students as P2. So you are kind of like a lower, what's the word?
Priority.
Yeah. So you will get probably an offer quite late in time. When did you get your?
Mine was I actually remember the date, 21st of September.
Okay.
So pretty late. Late.
So don't be put off, and don't be discouraged. Like, just wait, and
Yeah, fair enough. And another thing you have to remember is that in addition to all of this, you do have to apply to each hospital directly. So you have to go into the website, and they do have specific forms and all that you will have to fill out on your website. So it's sort of not just that central application. You have to do each hospital as well. So it does sound pretty long, but I'm happy I did it.
We're both really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it.
But yeah. Congratulations
yeah,
again on
and all the
getting the
best.
final year, and all the best for applications.
And if you need to contact either of us, we're happy for you to email us, call us on the phone, whatever. We'll leave our details with Tash, and yeah, you can get in contact with us. All right, bye
See you guys later.
everyone.